I just prefer not to hear anything, and everything
Right.
we hear today is bad.
Yeah, it's never.
So she said, well, okay. She said, I understand that, but she said, I want you to come.
Oh.
Because she said, you did work. She's married to my cousin.
Oh.
And she said, I want you to come. Because she said, I know you had to have had, you enjoyed yourself there. Because she said, you talked too much not to. I said, I had a ball there. You know, we'd go upstairs, and we'd, couple of us, and we'd meet and just giggle upstairs. You know, they had a huge upstairs. You know.
So going to work wasn't, you didn't grudge going to work?
Oh, goodness, no. I loved it. I loved it. And actually end up, I just liked, I don't think, well, I don't dislike anybody, but I just loved the people. And I became very close to the lady I was very afraid of, Miss Maud and I. When she retired, I thought my heart would just break.
No.
Yeah, we became very close.
Oh.
She wasn't that mean lady at all.
Oh.
I was just that
You
girl
just
that
thought...
never had worked before in her life.
Oh, that was your first job?
My first job.
Oh boy. How old were you when you started?
I was 17 and a half.
17. How did you get the job, Mervyn Con? Did you just apply?
I applied. I went in and I talked to Miss Peggy. She's deceased. Miss Peggy Carson. And she asked me a few questions. I really don't remember what. If I had, one thing is, had I ever worked anywhere before? I said, no ma'am. And so she said, aren't you going to college?
You had just gotten out of school?
And I said, I would like to go to college, but I said, I'm going to go live on campus, and my mother wouldn't let me.
Oh.
And
you were going to go to UL?
UL. And
Guess so.
I said that's a poor excuse not to have lost that education, because I was going to go be a nurse. But that's not what the Lord wanted.
No.
He wanted me to stay home and have a bunch of kids.
Yeah, it would have been. I don't think you would have been able to be a nurse and have.
No.
Have 6
so I
kids.
didn't. After I worked there, I didn't work. You know, I
right.
raised the children.
Far too busy.
Far too busy.
Let's see. So the job was pretty easy. I mean, pretty easy to get though. She.
Oh yeah, she called me the next day and said that I had it.
Oh, that's nice.
That I could start the Monday, or whenever I thought, you know, if I wanted a few more days of vacation or whatever. And I asked if I could have a couple of weeks off, you know, just to do nothing, because we had already gone on our little senior trip of St. Joe Catholic School. You don't go too far. That, in fact, that was our first class trip. Was our class.
Oh, so did you start working at Mervyn Cons your senior year?
No, I
just after.
After graduation.
Oh, okay.
After graduation.
So Miss Peggy interviewed you. Okay.
Yeah, Miss Peggy.
How was the employee? Was it mixed? Like just a lot of different types of people working it, and
they were old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in those days, old was not old, but we probably call myself old, and I don't think I'm old, but I'm 69. But I don't know if they had any that age that we'd call old, but they looked old.
Right.
You know? The people of those days looked old.
Right.
50-some years
kind of
ago.
Life.
Yeah, they looked
tough.
old. And
so maybe like their 50s.
Yeah.
You know.
Or probably 30s.
Oh.
Some of these ladies were probably in their 30s, which I was just 17, so I thought they were, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I was just 17, and they were just like in their 30s, and
would
all different
did
ages.
women that had kids, women that and didn't, they both worked there?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And I guess the departments were upstairs was it mostly women?
Upstairs in the office, yes.
It was women, and it was just overseen by Jankower and.
Not upstairs
Jankower.
was the Deverval.
Deverval.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you had the one that took care of the money, Miss Edith LaPerouse.
Mm-hmm.
She passed away this year.
Oh.
And she'd take the money, and then we had, and I think you met, one of you met Miss Anna that would use the phone, which was one of the old time phones.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Right, you got connected to she connected
Correct.
you to all the
And
departments.
I worked there also. When they would go on their lunch hour, I would take their place.
Oh.
And that was fun.
Oh, that was fun.
It
One.
really was. You put that on your head and you talked, you know, in here, and then you plugged to each department, you know.
Mhm.
I'd like to speak to so and so in the dry goods department, and you know
Switch
that was
over.
you take a wire here and put it there, and it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Let's see. Got that done. What was your first? Do you remember your first day working at Mervyn Combs?
Yes,
You do.
very much so.
What was your impression?
I didn't think I'd make it. This lady asked for a pattern. And that's where I was stuck right there in the pattern. I had no clue what a pattern looked like, you know. Because my mother sewed, but my mother didn't sew with a pattern. So anyway, we looked for the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, I want to say 10 cents, 15 cents. And now they're like $5 a pattern. If
Like
you can find
like a
pattern.
yard?
A pattern
Or
is
you mean like yeah,
to
right.
make a dress
Oh
or a
right.
skirt, you
Mhm.
know.
Oh yeah, like to make
And
it.
in the back of
Oh
that,
right.
you had your measurements, and that's
Mhm.
where I got confused because I didn't know how to sew.
Oh,
And
so
the
they
lady
wanted.
wanted so many yards for this dress, and
Oh yeah.
I totally got, you know, and I didn't cry, but almost. And here comes Miss Maud, you know, the fear. And she said, are you doing something wrong, Patty? And I said, no ma'am, I haven't started, but it doesn't seem like I'm going to do it right. So she helped. But that was, to me, I even told my mother, when I got home, I said, I didn't think I'd have made the day, Mother. Because I said, you know, I don't know anything about a pattern. She said, well, now, did you learn a little bit? I said, very little. We'll just have to continue trying. That's it. And I got the knack of it.
It
you
came
know,
along.
just, yeah. When you're afraid, you know.
Yeah. So you enjoyed the upstairs work more?
Because I could talk more. And I could visit.
Yeah, because it's not. Yeah, and you don't have to deal with.
I wasn't in one
Have to
particular
talk to a customer.
spot. Right. I
Yeah.
didn't like to wait on customers.
Right. Oh, I know how that is. I don't like it either. I was in sales for a while.
Don't like it.
What was your pay? How did you get paid? Was it once a month?
Once a month, by check. I don't even remember how much I got paid.
Oh, really?
It was the minimum wage, but I don't. What could it have been? I have no clue. I don't remember.
Oh, that's okay.
It's not. It wasn't much.
It was something. I mean, whenever you worked at Mervyn Commons, you were still living at home.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So it didn't take me a lot, you know.
Right,
Because, you
right.
know, but I liked nice things.
Mm-hmm.
So everything I made went on nice things.
So you had lots of nice clothing.
I had a lot of shoes, a lot of purses.
Mm-hmm.
And in those days we wore hats to church.
Right.
And I was tiny. And I had a long ponytail and we wore the hats, you know, so I was always dressed.
They had a lot of variety of hats.
Oh, yeah, beautiful hats. I kept a couple of them.
Because I find that's something you just can't find.
Oh, no.
You can't find hats anywhere.
But you could
not
find, they
Lafayette.
had the colors to match. I guess when they would go to market,
Mhm.
they would make sure that your better clothes came with a couple of hats.
Matching.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Or something that would, not identical, but something that would, you know, blend in.
Right. Right. Let's see. Were there any? Well, I guess of course perks. You like talking to people, and you got a discount, like you said.
Yes. We
Was it?
also had seamstress. I don't know if they told you that. We had somebody that worked in another little department, like three or four ladies that would, if something didn't fit, you could have it fitted
Tailored.
at that time.
Seamstress. Oh, that's neat. Men's and women's. They take
Mhm.
in pants and.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Well, that's neat. Um, what was their sick leave policy? You were sick.
They let you go for sickness. Now, if
Mhm.
a couple of times I went in and I lied and said I had a terrible headache and I was going to the prison rodeo in
Angola.
Huntsville, Texas.
Oh, okay.
And needless to say, the first person I get over there and I see somebody that works with me at Mervyn Cons.
Oh no.
And I said, if you won't tell, I won't tell. I said, we'll both get fired, you know?
Uh-huh.
And then there was another time I tried it again. It was a Tulane game. Must have been UL and Tulane in New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
And I tried that again. And I'm sitting down and I'm having the time of my life with, of course, my boyfriend. I'm young, you know?
Mhm.
And I turned around and there's my boss.
No.
Miss Peggy.
Oh.
Oh. You know, she said, if you don't say anything, I won't. I said, oh no ma'am, I'm not going to say anything. So that's the fun of you think you
Boys, every time you think you're gonna get off a week.
I don't care where I went, I met somebody. That's the thing about loving to talk.
Oh boy. See, did you ever fear losing your job other than that?
No.
No, it was pretty secure.
No.
It was a pretty laid back place to work, or was it?
They watched. You know, they watched that
watched
you didn't, you know, fool around, you know, play. or
that you did your job.
Correct. And if you did that, they were satisfied. Especially
But
Mr.
they didn't hassle you.
No. Mr. Leo Cohn.
Leo Cohn.
He was a wonderful, wonderful man. He was pleasant. He'd always talk to you. I know he'd talk to me every morning. Now, Mr. Jankow was plain not nice. And it's not his fault, you know.
It's not that he wanted. He just was just.
You know, he came in, I guess, with something on his mind, and he just.
Right. He
But
wanted
Mr.
to chat.
Leo just was kind-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
Just so kind-hearted. It must be wonderful to be so rich and just love the people.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, you kind of told me about that. Your first sale.
Mm-hmm.
What was the easiest thing to sell, or what I guess what sold the most?
What
Just-
I like to sell was lingerie.
Lingerie.
Yeah. It was this one particular lady from Crowley would come and buy beautiful lingerie. Every time we had something new,
Mm-hmm.
I would give her a call and she would come. And her husband would come with her. And he'd say, oh, not that, honey, but maybe this. And I just love waiting on her. She was young at the time.
Uh-huh.
And now she's deceased, her and her husband. But sweet people.
And you remember? I mean, you.
Oh, I remember
See,
selling her a black.
So you kind of knew what she'd want.
Yeah, I knew what she liked. So I kind of kept things off her side when she would come in.
Those kind of customers you like.
Yeah, you could do that.
The
with
ones
these-
the ones that you knew.
Yeah, you could do that with these people. They come from all over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how'd you get to work? Did you walk?
Yeah.
How far did you live again? You
Let's see, I was here, and I lived by Rain High, so I guess that was about